Peace, power, and prosperity. Peace, power, and prosperity. It's Yafeuh Balogun. I got a good one here. With my comrade, who I refer to as Buddha, but of course, he identifies. He got his own identity. He gonna tell us a little bit about that too. But the interesting thing about Buddha, on December 12, 2017, he was at the home with Rakem Balogun when the FBI raided. And I always wanted to ask him, and interesting enough, this is really the first time I really had a chance to ask him, and I'm doing it live here. What was he thinking? What happened? And whatever he feel comfortable with sharing. Obviously, he's not going to share every single detail, but he going to share with us whatever he can publicly. So first of all, brother, my comrade, my friend, I appreciate you joining on with this platform. It has been my mission over the last few years to try to do a better job in documenting the efforts of what's going on here in the city, what's going on here as far as Guerrilla Mainframe, and just the movement in general. So we appreciate you so much for joining our platform, The Street Reporter. How you feeling today?
Man, I'm feeling great, man. I'm feeling great, man. I'm glad to be on board and part of this discussion, man. I feel like there's some points that needs to be publicized as far as other fellow activists and revolutionaries.
Right.
Now since I'm a lot older, I'm a lot older from that scenario. I'm definitely able to process, the interaction, with between the fellow activists, and the organization and the government. Um, so I'm gonna go ahead, hand the mic over to Mr. Yafeuh Balogun on the questions. So, what's
So
your first
so
question,
so
brother?
appreciate that. So I guess the first question is, as I understand, correct me if I get anything wrong. Correct me, please. December 12, 2017, the FBI, ATF, and affiliated Alphabet Group boys kicked in your apartment door uh, in North Dallas. When you noticed or heard what was going on, what went in your first, what was your thought process like?
Well, yeah, yes, that's correct. They did breach into our living quarters. Middle of the night, unexpectedly. Um, True enough. Um, First thing that came to my mind initially, before the even door cracked, always been a very highly attentive person, aware of my surroundings, regardless of the day, the time of day. But as soon as that door cracked, it became all, instinct, of course, from having, self-defense, training and procedures and precautions, acting upon those instincts, with with structure, not just reacting like, oh, or such and such, but reacting with some structure, some
Right.
discipline. So I had some discipline when this transpired, but the average person, I felt like, without the training and the self defense education that a person can react without some structure. Yes, yes, but yeah, I could say, as soon as that door cracked open, man, I was already up on my feet and out of sight, out of visibility, to be visible for
Did
my
they
safety.
I mean, cut y'all. Did they knock on the door first, or did they just try to breach the door first? What did they try to do?
Oh man, the first thing I heard when I woke up was I was half asleep but waking up was perceived yelling. I thought it was the neighbors. You know what I'm saying? So they definitely did come cordially. They already came with their mind made up to breach and to bombard you. Not to give you no chance. They didn't come in peace. They
Mm-hmm.
came with straight violence. It
Mm,
was with no questions asked, in my opinion, and no notifications. So,
yeah,
and I felt like, for that to happen, especially for them not to be successful in their legal pursuit, was definitely unjust. You know what I'm saying? Especially if they didn't accomplish their governmental agenda.
Right. So they're hitting on the door. Uh,
Yes.
I assume like a battery round, right?
Yes, 100%.
Yeah,
Burst, bust.
yeah. Came off the hinges or whatever. When the battery round comes out, when the door comes out the hinges, what are
But it
you
ain't
doing
come out the
or what?
hinges.
Go ahead.
Man, so the government is acting upon their self safety. They're disregarding. They always disregard your safety as a citizen, as a
Right.
rightful United States citizens. Like it's like when they come to pursue you, it's like your rights that's supposed to be God given rights as a citizen that's given to you. It's like it's all null and void. So I
Right.
had to definitely react and protect myself and get out of harm's way from their visible sight.
Got you.
Yes.
So when this occurred, what was Rakim doing when y'all first noticed that there was somebody outside?
Oh man. As soon as I hopped out the way, man. I looked to my right. He was already there, already
Mhm.
attentive, already aware of the breach. And I just say this: we definitely from our self defense training, political education, man, we definitely had discipline, composure. There's key things you gotta have when you're dealing with these situations, when having an interaction between yourself and the government. You know,
Mhm.
you always want to have conduct yourself, but it's not typical Rakim, for these principles and the interaction, during the whole situation. So all thanks to political education and education of self defense, man, we responded appropriately because if without that, I feel like there would have been a different outcome that's favorable to the government that they want.
How did that? So did they immediately take y'all outside and start searching the home?
No, the way the way the way I perceive them was for government for them to be well funded and heavily armed and prepared and to have like at least 60, 70 agents, as he said in the documentary. They were still in fear, during the time. I'm at the age of I'm gonna give you alias age for purposes uh, they still was in fear. They was in fear. They didn't definitely trying to fully take control of the situation. So they was definitely taking very heavy precautions as if we was the biggest terrorists in the world, which is beyond me. Which we're community political activists, teaching and reaching out to the people.
How many agents were it, you say? How many agents was it?
Man, like just like the documentary said, between the division of 3 to 4 agencies, ATF, task force, Dallas Police Department, and the FBI, the Federal Bureau of Investigation, definitely had to be around, easily 60 to 70 agents out there.
Mm. Well, okay. And could you and they they basically put Rakim in one of their armored vehicles. Is that correct?
You cutting in and out.
Yeah, yeah. I was saying that they put.
Again,
Okay,
I
there
can
you
hear you a
go.
lot better.
So
I can hear you a lot better now. One more time.
yeah, so I was asking. So they put Rakim in one of their armored vehicles. Is that right?
Yes, they apprehended. Actually, I was apprehended first. I stepped out first. And I was apprehended, and then also my the chief, Rakim was apprehended as well. Um, we wasn't given a chance to prepare ourselves during that time. It was winter time, December 12th in Dallas, about 32 degrees outside. Um, I wasn't. I think I was. I definitely was not properly dressed, and so is my chief. So we was out there in zip ties, out in the cold, body shaking, So, they had us out there for quite some time, without properly, clothing us, from the elements. So yeah, they definitely separated us for sure. Yes.
Okay, okay, okay. And once they took Rakim, what did they tell you?
Um. No, they placed me behind. They placed me in one of the Federal Bureau of Investigation. One of their chargers. And they wasn't really disclosing information. Man, they're for me observing. I saw an agent on the scene, which actually I think if I'm not mistaken, was the same Federal Bureau of Investigation agent that popped up in the court of the of
Agent
the
Kaylee. Agent
yeah
Kaylee.
his name Aaron Cagley.
Yep, right.
Right at the federal Errol Campbell. He was there, checking things off on the checklist, and the agents that was sitting in front of me was really not disclosing information, trying to butter up the situation. Thinking I'm not politically educated, that I don't like it's a normal day, like I'm not being affected, mentally and emotionally. You know what I'm saying? And due to their disturbance. So yeah, so man, it was beyond me. They try to have a casual conversation, as if I wanted to have a casual conversation after being, violently, disturbed in the middle of the night.
Right. So basically, I want to advise those that do listen to this. First of all, I want to appreciate Buddha for more or less coming on to the platform and briefly discussing, kind of being transparent about it. This case against Rakem Balogun was essentially dismissed by the federal government after 6 months. He spent 6 months in federal prison, and ultimately was freed in the beginning stages of 2018. But this situation happened with Buddha, and he did kind of advise us about it. It looks like this is the first time I actually talked to him about it, for him to kind of give us his perspective. So I appreciate it. You got something you want to say?
Yeah, I got one more quick thing to say to you guys, man. This is the most wise things I'm gonna tell you guys, due to his experience, is that all the from all the political education I received, from the organizations that's involved within the movement, it was very essential, man. From all the reading the political literature and having the prior, self defense education, man. That political education, just from having that knowledge, it really was a surprise. It was a surprise during the moment, but during the whole thing, it wasn't a surprise because, for reading political literature, this isn't something new. This is not a new interaction between the government and the fellow activists. History repeats itself. So just like they did the Move organization on the East Coast, and the Panthers from different chapters around the United States, they acted the same exact way. You know what I'm saying? Just in a different time period. So just from studying political education, already had us prepared to to anticipate these behaviors of a tyrannical government that has agenda to suppress political movements uh, out here in these civilian communities. You understand? So it was very essential that you know that political that we participate in political education because it definitely prepares you and to be into also helps you anticipate uh, what are the possible things to come from being politically involved. From different perspectives in the political realm. You understand? So just from participating, man, it wasn't surprising that they acted the same exact way they acted in the 1950s or the 60s.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, we appreciate you for your service, and everybody that's listening on. If you could do me a big favor, like, share, subscribe to my channel. Like again, my aim is to kind of tell the stories of what's going on here in the movement locally that is not often told and not often discussed. And it's a great opportunity to be able to speak with Buddha because he was there, he was present, and he saw exactly what happened, and he just shared with us his perspective on things. So, do me a big favor, like, share, subscribe to my channel. It will be very helpful. Feel free to share the video, and I appreciate you, Buddha, for coming on, and that's basically it. Peace, power, and prosperity, and catch you on the next video.
Yes, sir.